Well, the lighting's better without it on.
I know. Shines on my bald head.
5, 4, 3.
Hi, how are you doing today, Nikki?
Good. How you doing, Dina?
I'm doing very well. We're actually inside the booth having an interview with Cannacon themselves, who are putting on the event. We're very excited to be
at
here.
Cannacon with Cannacon. We're very excited.
That's right, and we're sponsored by Healthy Roots Hemp Products, so we'd like to thank them for sending us here. And we're here today with Nick. Nick, we'd like to ask you, what do you do and why do you do it?
Like, what does Cannacon do, or like what do I do?
No, I mean, what do you do? How did you get to this place of Cannacon, running your Cannacon podcast? We've seen you talking to people all day. Give us a little insight into what this is all about.
Well, so my dad started this company in 2014. With maybe 2,000 business cards and a stack of magazines in his basement, with me and another one of my sales guys that's not here now, and a old Marie friend of mine, and we had these grandiose ideas that we would sell 500 booths and we'd be the biggest cannabis show in the world, and all this great shit would happen, and none of that came true. We sold like 150 booths, like 3,000 people came. We gave all the tickets away for free, and we realized that there was something there, but it was not at all what we expected it to be. Everyone was very scared. They were very scared of cannabis back then. Yeah. And so that was Tacoma, 2014.
Wow.
Fast forward to 2015, I started having kids, and so I wasn't around for that. 2016, we did it here in Seattle. And then we did that again in 2017.
I remember that.
The nice thing about being on federal property is you don't have to deal with any of the bullshit that we have to deal with being in the city of Seattle, which is no seed vendors, no CBD vendors, a lot of the things that the federal government doesn't seem to care about, but the city seems to care about, because the port's owned by the federal government, right? So it's not really city of Seattle property. And then we moved here because we got too big for the port, ironically enough, and that was last year. So that was our first year here.
So you were at the convention center in 2018.
Yep, and then here, and then this will be our last year here.
Why is that?
We can't have seed vendors, so that costs us $100,000 at least in booth sales, ticket sales, in marketing opportunities. A lot of seed vendors have hundreds of thousands of social media followers, and when they can't come, they can't help you market. And a lot of people, from a guy that wants to grow 4 plants in a tent because he wants to grow his own weed, to the 502 grower that apparently can't buy seeds from anyone that's an unlicensed 502c grower, which we all know is bullshit. They buy for whatever the fuck they want. But the point is that we can't have them, and that's hard for us. And we can't have specific types of vendors that really are pushing the industry forward, and so it's just hard to move on.
Where are you going to go then?
It's a good question.
I mean,
we're looking at going back to our roots and going back to the Tacoma Dome.
Oh, okay.
There's some loose ends we got to tie up with them from previous shit that was old management that I think we could deal with. But I think we're more looking at Bellevue.
So you're saying Seattle proper has been more of an issue?
The city of Seattle,
versus
not the state.
Okay,
we'll
so not
never
Tacoma.
not have a Washington show. We're here in Washington. Our show, we're never leaving Washington. It's one of the biggest legal cannabis markets in the world. But this city specifically just is very difficult to deal with.
They weren't embracing of it, I don't think, as much as other cities, for sure. I agree with that.
It's just a hard place to have a lot of people in, I think, too. Like, I wanted to go back to what you said at the beginning, people were scared of the cannabis industry, and I wonder if you've seen, like, at cannabis industry events, we've now been trying to have, well-produced ones since at least 2014, 2015, so 5 years. And at the beginning, people, like the cannabis industry people, were scared. They're scared to talk to each other, even at a social event like this. And it's been very social and incredible this year for me.
Yes.
And so I wonder if you've noticed that.
I noticed that 2014.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a story.
Yeah, what do you mean by scared?
No, there was I don't think vendor to vendor was scared in 2014. Not at all.
Okay.
I was shocked. I saw Royal Gold wrote a check for, I'm not going to tell you the amount, because I don't know that they would want me to tell you, for a lot. It was 6 figures to a packaging company that packages their soil. And so I knew right away that vendor to vendor business and just being able to network with each other was something that was much more of a added bonus to Cannacon than any of these vendors really expected. And to the point today where it's probably a $5 million a show revenue generating income for these vendors is vendor to vendor sales.
And also too, I'm curious, we've had Kush 21 Marketplace that puts on an event, Lemon Haze that puts on an event, they're a lot more local. I see you with a larger non-502 suppliers here. I see you have bigger producers and vendors than I've seen at some of the other smaller shows. Is that on purpose, or they just have come with you because of when you started in the industry? Or is this actually who you're after, is the larger producers and suppliers of your extraction equipment, your dirt, your nutrients, etc.?
So those shows that you were talking about are the exact opposite of what Cannacon is trying to do, right? So those shows are completely geared towards an end user base, right? They're not at all geared towards a business to business type of and so those shows are great for what they are.
Yes.
That's not at all what Cannacon is, and so because of that, you see that we have a lot of national vendors. We have a lot of international vendors. I've done, Keith, 20 interviews maybe in the last day, and what we've heard more and more is that we're not talking to a lot of people from Washington. We're talking to a lot of people from everywhere else.
Yeah.
International, national vendors bring international, national attendees. Because of that, you're going to see that what we originally do in a city is we will start with local vendors because they're easier to get, and they're really in. But once it gets bigger and those local guys just can't compete with the big guys anymore, that's when they just quit buying booths and the bigger guys buy booths. What we want to do is give the attendee what they need. What I've learned, especially this year, is that the attendee knows exactly what they want. And that wasn't the case 2 or 3 years ago. There was a lot of, I don't know what I really want to do. That's not at all this anymore. This is, I know exactly what we want. And we've heard this over and over for 2.5 days, that you guys have exactly who we needed. We knew exactly what we needed. They had exactly, they were prepared for it, and it's been a lot easier than it has been in the past. So
There's not a lot of B2B out here, though. There's just, like you said, with the other types of market, they're to the consumer direct.
yeah, we're the only one.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that's why I thought it was so different, and I hadn't recognized all the brands, but I was very happy because that's a niche that isn't filled in our area, in this industry as much. It's great.
There's a vendor here from my hometown in Massachusetts, Milford, Massachusetts.
Cool.
It is NE Ag Tech.
We had him, we talked to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, his name is something, and I told, you know.
I think it's Jeff. We're going to be talking to him probably soon just for the connection.
Yeah, that dude was super smart. And he has an idea that we've already seen work in other shows. And so, yeah, that was really cool. Are you a Patriots fan?
I am phasing out of football fandom, but by blood I'm a Patriots fan and a Drew Bledsoe fan myself.
See? That's where it comes from, baby, right there. Yeah. No, the reason I say that is because, like, I've been here since I was 13,
Yeah.
and when I was 13, Drew Bledsoe was a quarterback at WSU.
Yeah.
And so I followed him to the Patriots.
Yeah.
My sister graduated from WSU.
Are you a Patriots fan, Nick?
I love the Patriots.
Yeah.
You know what's
Nick
funny?
and
My
Nikki.
love.
I don't love Tom Brady.
No, I'm with you.
I think we should have traded Tom Brady for Garoppolo, or the other way around. I think Brady should have bounced. But anyways, we're getting off topic. I just wanted,
No,
I just
I'm
thought
glad
it,
we did
you know,
that.
because
Well, and I think that's
we're still
perfect.
playing tomorrow. Just wanted everyone to know again,
Well,
because the AFC is so hard to get through every year.
I remember the good old days of Joe Montana.
Oh my God!
That was
Oh,
my absolute
Jesus.
favorite, was Montana
My mom
Rice.
too.
It just,
My
you
mom
know,
too.
that's what, but you said
I was
what,
born and raised in Southern California, so I was a Bills fan back then.
But
Boy,
you-
I love losing Super
Wow.
Bowls.
well, you talked about how you got connected into it now because you followed somebody. Well, just watching them play was just like watching dancers or something, you know,
Yeah.
the coordination of the team. And That's, yeah, I love that idea that that's what brings you in. That's funny. All right.
Thank you so much, Nick, for
Yeah.
taking the time to chat with us here
Yeah,
at
it was
Cannabis
nice.
Beyond Dope.
It was nice to answer questions instead of having to ask them.
Yes, and we do appreciate too the opportunity to learn specifically Cannacon's purpose. That was really great, and how you fit within these shows different than others, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, our purpose really is simply to give the consumer what they need. And the other way around is, you know, you don't need 10,000 people at a conference. You need 5,000 or 6,000 of the right people. And the other 4,000 people are just fillers. They just fill the aisles. That doesn't do anybody any good.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Thanks, Nick.
You're welcome.
We appreciate you taking the time with
Of
us.
course.
I know you've been busy doing these
No,
all
no
day and
worries.
stuff, so that was great. And we wanted to get a chance to shout out what you guys are doing as well. It's not just covering who's here, but who's, you know, it's always harder to get you guys
Yeah.
that you're working, but.
Enjoy your conversation and ideas about the industry. It's really good insight, I think, to the national cannabis industry, which is what, you know, our target audience and the
It wasn't always that way.
businesses
It was
are
hard for us
now.
to get national vendors at first. But
Yeah.
once the first few drop, once you get an advanced nutrients or once you get a Cerna or someone like that, then everyone else takes notice.
Yeah.
And then it's
Okay,
like,
where we
well,
going?
why am I not
You'll
at
be
this
over in
spot?
those two chairs.
Yeah.
Oh, the chair.
And
And then
That's how.
and then they notice how much more professional you are than everyone else. But you know,
Yes,
sadly,
that's
you know what
right.
that comes with? I hate to admit this, but sadly, that just comes with money.
Yeah.
That just comes with having the amount of money to be able to spend on marketing and on making a show more professional. You know, you can't do that at first without a lot of money.
Make sure it happens.
And we had $5.
Yeah, please don't
And a
forget
cell
to
phone
email me,
plan.
because if it's not right in front of me,
You know, my dad
it'll
always
get
says
lost
the
in
harder
everything
you
else.
work,
I figured as much,
And
so
I think our
appreciate you
valuation
getting the
this
card to me,
year
'cause I
was
been actually
$8.5
feel this
million.
had mine, but this
So
is
from
even
2
better.
cell
Yes,
phones
that way
to
you can bother me,
$5
because
to
honestly, that's the
$8.5
only way it's
million
gonna
in
get
4 years.
done.
I love it, thank you so
Not bad.
much.
Well, good work.
Definitely.
Are